तो हे गाइस, आज हम रिव्यू करने वाले हैं अ फादर लव बिल्डिंग द लास्ट ऑफ अस एपिसोड 1। आइए शुरू करते हैं।
A lot of the conversation that Craig Mazin and I had, we would talk through a sequence like that and talk through all the beats. What do we get out of those beats? Why are they important? Well, let's just get that wholesale into the show.
I think Neil and I were both excited by the idea that we could actually add a little bit more context to Joel and Sarah's relationship.
This is your chance. You keep her alive.
So with the show, we could say, okay, what's important in the sequence was like, well, we want to show the bonds of the family. Are there more ways of showing that we couldn't in the game? Because we could take more time, like, let's show them waking up, let's show them having breakfast, Sarah going to school, Sarah going to get her dad's watch fixed.
We shared a lot of the concept art from the original game and the remake with them, and they used a lot of it very faithfully to make the fans that were playing the game feel like they were being true to the material.
If you don't think there's hope for the world, why bother going on?
So the beginning of the game was one of the last things we got finalized when we were making Last of Us. For a long time, the plan was to play Joel, not to play as Sarah. And it was like you as Joel would hear a commotion over at your neighbor's house, you would walk over there, you would see they're infected, then you'd head back and grab your daughter and then run. And it felt like I've seen this. And the aha moment when we're having a brainstorm in like one of the design pods was, what if you played as Sarah?
Hey.
Scoot.
It was very important to build the relationship of Joel and Sarah.
Here.
What's this?
Your birthday?
To show their characters and what kind of people they are and how they live and relate to each other.
You kept complaining about your broken watch. You like it?
And then when things change, when things go bad.
Dad? Daddy?
And the fact that you're seeing it through like a very innocent child made everything creepier, scarier.
You in here?
Quiet sounds mixed with the TV was loud.
There seems to be some commotion.
We went to the window, the explosion shook the room.
Oh, God.
Everything was there to create this kind of uneasy tension.
These kind of elements of like something is off until Joel comes in and then has to shoot his own neighbor.
Jimmy, just stay back! Jimmy, I am warning you! Don't! Where the hell you been? You have any idea what's going on out there?
I got some notion.
Once you get into the car, you have tension being raised by police cars coming through with all the lights spinning around. The view is very claustrophobic. Things are just very close to you.
Army's put up roadblocks on the highway.
You look at a sequence like that, as an animator, you're like, oh, this is something that you get really excited for, and then you get really terrified that you're doing because it's a big moment. With doing that, we have to kind of really pull your attention to where we want it to be.
That's Lewis's farm.
We do that with sound, we do that with animation, we do that with lighting, with fire. All of that is something that an animator put love and care into to make sure it happens exactly the way you're seeing it.
But maybe one of the most important things to show in that drive was the family that's asking for help.
Let's see what they need.
At that moment, Joel shows you who he is.
Who do you think you're doing? Keep driving.
I got a kid, Joel.
So do we.
But we have room.
Keep driving, Tommy.
And Joel is somebody, to survive, he has to control his environment to the best of his ability and make decisions based on what keeps them alive.
He's going to do everything he needs to take care of his daughter.
I think about the entire soundscape. Everything after the car crash switches from Sarah's perspective to Joel's perspective, because then it's a father trying to save his kid.
Come here, give me your hand.
The infected gets closer and closer, and the shadows get longer and longer. This intense light just shines towards you. It settles into the worst thing possible when you think that you're almost at the finish line. and then Sarah dies.
One of the things that I did to keep myself emotionally, and it still gets me emotionally available for that, is I actually, when we temped the sound of Sarah, it was my child. We knew what was going to happen, and so we kind of played into that as it made it worse and worse and worse until it was almost a save, and then it's not.
It's okay, baby. We're safe.
Got a couple of civilians in the outer perimeter. Please advise.
Daddy, what about Uncle Tommy?
The choices we made were authentic, right? We didn't want to stray away. We wanted to make it grounded.
Sarah. Move your hands, baby. I know, baby, I know.
It's very powerful to have such a specific beginning to mark and shape the identity of the character thereafter for the rest of the game and for the rest of the show.
The simplicity of Sarah's death was actually really hard to get to, and we worked at it so hard. And Hannah Hayes, who played Sarah, did such a fantastic job. She was so believable as like a child dying. I remember that we had a few crew members that walked off set. They felt it was too much to watch that happen multiple times.
We have great actors, Pedro and Nico, just do this heartbreaking job. I love the game version and I love this version. They live equally in my heart.
Sarah. Baby. Don't do this to me, baby. Don't do this to me.
Always accessible, always readable, always raw. And I think to try and be honest to that as much as possible was a huge push.
Please, please, please don't. Please.
PlayStation.
So काफी इमोशनल था. I know, जिनको स्टोरी पता है. The Last of Us 2, मुझे वो सीन याद आ गया जब The Last of Us 2 में, स्पॉइलर है, जिसने Last of Us 2 नहीं खेला तो वो यहाँ पर एंड कर देना. मुझे वो इमोशनल मोमेंट था, मतलब काफी इमोशनल मोमेंट था. मुझे वो सीन याद आ गया जब जोई मरा था स्टार्टिंग ऑफ द गेम, जस्ट लाइक लास्ट ऑफ अस 1 में हुआ जब उसकी बेटी मरी. तब इतना इमोशनल नहीं था क्योंकि हम उसकी बेटी से इतना जुड़े नहीं थे, यू नो. बट पूरे गेम में हमने जोई के साथ खेला, और देन लास्ट ऑफ अस 2 में वो जिस तरीके से वो मरता है, इट्स काइंड ऑफ, यू नो, यस, सॉरी, इट्स हार्ड क्योंकि this is the best game I ever played, you know. The story, every angle of this game is beautiful, you know, and it's always, what can I say, I don't have words for this game, but yeah, इसकी सीरीज भी आ गई है तो yeah, I am probably gonna watch this series. मैंने अभी तक नहीं देखी सीरीज, but yeah, मैं सीरीज को देखूंगा और फिर उसके बारे में रिव्यू भी करूंगा कि मुझे सीरीज कैसी लगी. बट आई एम प्रीटी डैम श्योर कि वो काफ़ी अच्छी होने वाली होगी. HBO काफ़ी अच्छा काम करता है अपनी सीरीज के साथ, तो या. और जिसने ये गेम खेला है प्लीज़ कमेंट में बताना आपका रिएक्शन क्या था. आपके लिए हार्ट ब्रेकिंग मोमेंट कौन सा था? फर्स्ट वन जब इसकी बेटी मरी, या सेकंड when he, you know, died? और वो गेम काफी इमोशनल था, लास्ट ऑफ अस 2. या आई नो, थोड़ा इमोशनल हो गया हूँ, वीडियो नहीं, थोड़ा इमोशनल हो गया, बस कुछ बोल नहीं पा रहा. मुझे बताना कि आप ये HBO की सीरीज देखने वाले हो कि नहीं, और द लास्ट ऑफ अस नाम ही आएगा सीरीज का. Am I right? Yes. तो आप मुझे बताना कि आप ये देखने वाले हो कि नहीं. मैं तो देखने वाला हूँ और इसको रिव्यू भी करूँगा. तो अगर वीडियो पसंद आई तो प्लीज़ मेक श्योर टू सब्सक्राइब, और डेली न्यूज़ गेमिंग से रिलेटेड देखने के लिए मेक श्योर टू लाइक द चैनल एंड थैंक यू फॉर वॉचिंग।